back to the Pink Water House. I am super glad to see that you guys have stepped back into this house, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video. This video is going to be focusing a lot on self-care and self-love, taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, as well as just your peace of mind. Now, as you can see, this is gone down the drain and must go out the window. So I've already chopped it up. I'm going to undo my hair and wash my hair. And I want to do my nails. I've been growing my nails for a couple of weeks now, and I think it's high time for me to shape them up and put a little gel on them, which I'm very excited about because I do have everything that I need for that. I want to do a facial, I want to shave the fur on my face. I want to take care of my outside beauty in the best way that I can this week, okay? This week is called Restoring the Glow Week. Yeah, I find it very therapeutic when I take time to do things on me, because now I have enough time to sit and think and make decisions that I think are gonna get me to where I want to be in the next 2 years and the next 4 years and the next 6 years. It helps me to be able to think about what steps I would like to take to get there. Doing my own hair, taking care of my self physically, also gives me time to remember why I started this. Remember what's important to me. Remember where I want to go. Like, for example, when I do my hair, generally it's about 5 hours of sitting in front of the mirror, probably listening to music and just going through things on my mind. Even though we're focusing on the physical parts of self-care in this video, while we are doing this part of the self-care, we're going to have a conversation. I want us to have a conversation, or I want to talk about what self-care means to me. A woman will spend so much time taking care of others, putting other people and other things first before them, and by the time they realize it, they have wasted so many of their years, sometimes on things that never really went to fruition. And sometimes they find themselves in deep disappointment because they spend so much time investing in other people, and other people are not always of the same mindset. Some don't even appreciate it. Some think that you owe them that. We don't take care of our mental health. We don't. I want to share a little story with you guys about women that I know from close. I'm going to speak about one woman in particular. I'm going to call her Abby. So Abby was married. Abby's married and has about 5 children. So Abby spent so much of her years investing in raising these children, pleasing this husband, taking care of this husband. And most of the time, Abby was very stressed out. And in Abby being stressed out, best believe that Abby would take out a lot of her frustration on the children. Now, Abby was not a bad mother. The only problem is Abby didn't spend time investing in her own mental health. And unfortunately, Abby didn't grow up at a time like this where there is gender equality. Abby grew up back at a time where the husband is the man of the house, is the head of the house, and the woman is mainly a servant to the husband, must be submissive to the husband, and must also take care and raise the husband's children, right? So at some point, obviously, the husband started getting into cheating and became abusive, would leave for long periods of time, and then come home. And when he comes home, he will obviously bring all hell with him, and fear in the house, panic in the house. Abby was committed to the husband and so couldn't leave, especially during the time that Abby was married, where divorce wasn't really a thing. Abby's anger had a lot to do with the fact that there was so much holding Abby down emotionally, so much hunting Abby down emotionally, that she kind of just lost herself. She never really had time to pay attention to her mental health. And so everything that would happen, it would boil down to the children. And at some point, Abby deteriorated and became a monster to her children and probably even her neighbors. So the story of Abby then takes me to what I want to go with this, that we are now living in a time where it's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to take time for your mental health. Whether or not the people in your life understand it, with whatever expectations that they have of you, it is important that you make them also understand that you are a human being and you are an individual way before everything else came and everyone else came into your life. And it's very important that you invest time in keeping this person sane so that you can be a better person for you and you can be a better person for others as well. There are times where you are going to have to be selfless, but there are times where you are really going to need to be selfish, which is usually harder than being selfless, especially for most women. So I wanted to talk a lot more about mental health while I was doing my hair. Find the things that make you happy and the things that give you peace. For me, it is doing handwork. It can be drawing, it can be doing my hair, it can be doing my nails, it can be doing a facial. It is all of that for me. Those are the things that give me the type of therapy that I need for my mind. And so this is why I've decided to link this hair to the mind and to mental health. Done undoing the hair. I've also taken a shower and given my hair a gorgeous little wash. I want to quickly blow dry it and maybe oil it up, and then once I'm done, I'm just going to do just some thick braids. Look at how much it has grown. It's actually grown so much. The only thing is it shrinks every time I wash it. But let me go ahead and blow dry. What we're doing today is the face. So I'm doing a mini facial. I want to shave off the hair, my skin, my facial hair. I want to do a little bit of a mask. I'm going to use my vitamin C mask. I'm going to be exfoliating. I'm just going to do a mini facial here at home. And while I do that, I want to talk to you guys about my journey with my skin and beauty as a whole. Okay. First things first, I need to apply oil on my face, which is really not my favorite part. And I don't really have a specific oil that I use for this because this is also quite a new part of my routine, like a recent part of my routine, the shaving. So I don't have an oil for that yet, but I do have many oils. And the oil I'm going to be using is actually a makeup remover. Do not judge. It smells horrible, by the way. But it's pretty good for removing makeup and it's quite oil-based. So I believe it's going to get the job done. And then I'm going to start shaving while we talk about my journey with beauty and my skin. Okay, so as you can see, the oil has already been applied. I've already applied the oil and oh, I hate the way it feels on my skin. But I'm just going to go ahead and shave. My ring light's been giving me some problems lately. So in case it comes off while I'm still doing this, please don't mind it. I don't know what's going on with it. Generally speaking, growing up, I was not really the epitome of beauty at home. I wouldn't say I was the most beautiful girl. I've always also had weird struggles with confidence. Because honestly, There we go. There we go. There we go. It came out. Let me put it back on. Sorry about that. It's kind of back on, but if it switches off this time, I'm going to leave it off. So, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by my ring lights. I don't think I saw myself as ugly, but I always struggled with just the mindset of just not being good enough, if you know what I mean. And for most of my life, I don't think I was just that one person who always received, you know, the compliments about how beautiful I am. I was never the prettiest girl in school. I was never the prettiest girl anyway. If there is anything that I experienced in my life, I experienced being teased a lot. I was teased about my small forehead, and most relentlessly, I was teased about my lips. Teasing about my lips got so bad in primary school because it used to happen at home. It used to happen with peers in school, with classmates. You know, kids will tease you. In school, it's a danger zone. But yeah, it became the usual for me. It would say, oh, okay, like I'm just a simple girl who unfortunately happens to have some really big ugly lips that people hated, especially at home. My cousins used to tease me about it a lot. There was this one specific cousin that never let me forget just how ugly and big my lips were. They used to call me things like burger lips. They used to say I've got puto smackers. They called it all types of different things, and I don't think they kind of realized the effect that it would have on me in the long run, or the effect that it had on me at that time, and how much it actually used to hurt and how much it actually messed me up. But I got used to hating those features in my face. I got used to hating and they also used to tease me about my nose being too small, and I used to be very hairy on my nose, which is weird. So I did kind of struggle with the feeling of just not being beautiful enough. In fact, the feeling of not being beautiful at all. Maybe the feeling of being too simple. And the worst part is at home, there was this cousin of mine that I was saying used to never let me forget. And everyone at home felt like she was the most beautiful. Even my mom. My mom was obsessed with her. She would say that she's perfect. Her body, her skin, her face. My mom used to think my cousin was the epitome of beauty, and probably so did almost everybody else at home. So she was the one who was always teasing me about my lips, like always teasing me about my lips, like to the point where there was this one day where some guy, I don't even know, some boy outside of my school told me on a random day that, wow, you have such nice lips. And I think he went along the lines of he would like to kiss them. We were still little, by the way. So for me, I don't know what he said to me. I didn't care about the kissing part, but I was more interested in the part where he actually said I have nice lips. That was the first time anyone had ever complimented my lips. So it was a big deal. So there was this one day, me and my cousin were outside, and she was saying, she was talking about how ugly my lips are, the usual. And in trying to stand up to her, I told her, that's not true. Some people like my lips. I even told her the story that there was some boy who actually told me that I have nice lips. And this is what she said to me. She said, that's because that's the first thing on your face that people notice when they see you. So sometimes when somebody wants to say something nice to you, they will comment about your lips first. It's not that they are nice, but it's the first thing that they notice as soon as they saw you. So they have to say something. It's funny now because I love my lips now, but back then it was pretty hurtful. So in addition to that, it was always my small forehead, bizarre as hell. I still struggle a bit with stuff when it comes to my forehead, hairstyles at most. But the gist of what I'm trying to say is that back then, my face was really not the most important part of my body. Beauty was just out the window for me because I knew very well that I had these big lips and everybody noticed it first. So I was just fighting with my self-esteem and my confidence for most of my life. And then fast forward to being a teenager. As a teenager, I never even really had bad skin. I'm not gonna lie. I had pretty good skin as a teenager. I didn't have, the horrible acne. The only time I started my journey with struggling with my skin was when I fell pregnant. Yeah, that was a very horrible time. When I got pregnant, I turned to a straight up crocodile, darling. My skin was the pits. The acne, I was losing hair, body weight. It was just a horrible time in general. After I gave birth, that's when I started realizing that there's more to a girl's skin than just washing with soap and applying whatever lotion you put on your skin. I think during the process of me healing from the heartbreak that I went through when I was pregnant, one of the first steps I took, firstly, was gym. Secondly, was my skin and getting rid of the horrible dark marks that were left from the pimples. Okay, and I just shaved this and I feel like I'm struggling to talk and shave here. Let me just see if I can do that off camera real quick. To make matters quicker, I literally just shaved everything off camera. But yeah. So I'm going to go quickly wash my face and then I'm going to come back and we're going to continue this conversation. But I want to apply a little face scrub as gently as I possibly can before I wash the face. Because, yeah, Starbucks is a face wash, bruh. I don't know. Yeah, this time. As the last time it didn't pinch, it didn't sting at all. This time around, I'm feeling a bit of a sting. But I think because last time I didn't use brand new blades. The blades I was using was a blade I'd already been using, right? This time, I literally just opened the box afresh. And it was quite sharp, so I don't know. The important thing is that I'm going to look good after this. Wash is done. I feel so good. Oh! When I got my actual job at the previous call center that I was working at, that is when I started investing more in taking care of my skin. Because I was doing more makeup at that time, watching TikTok, realizing just how much people are actually investing in their skin. That helped me a lot with gaining my confidence, with feeling like I'm beautiful. And I think I've come to a point now where there isn't really much that you can tell me about whether or not I'm beautiful. Back then, the teasing did get to me, but now I think I'm in a position and a time in my life where I look in the mirror and I like what I see, and it doesn't matter anymore what another person thinks about me. And to be very honest, I have been getting some good reviews about my skin now. Yeah, I do have some freckles. I do get acne here and there, now and then, like that time of the month. But at the same time, it just, anything that happens now, I'm in a better place. So it doesn't affect me like it used to. And I've learned that I'm also beautiful in my own way. That doesn't need approval from other people. Yes, it's nice to get compliments about how beautiful I look. And I've also learned that I actually am beautiful in my own way. Taking care of my skin ultimately does have a good effect on how I feel about myself as well. When I look at my skin glowing, when I get those little compliments here and there, oh my God, your skin is glowing. It feels good because I know exactly where I come from with how I look and my face and my skin. Feeling like I'm not good enough. So by the way, I'm using Million Pauline. It's a face mask. It's fresh orange vitamin moisturizing mask. I think I need it because as much as Bella, the whole deep cleansing thing cleans up the skin, it does leave it feeling very, very dry. Like my skin feels quite tacky and dry at the moment. So this is the best mask for my collection today. And you will soon see what I was telling you guys about My forehead. Oh my god. Like the mask is on my hairline right now. And I have to fold it there so that it doesn't touch my hairline. That's how tiny my forehead is. By the way, this mask smells absolutely amazing. I'm gonna leave this on for about 15 to 20 minutes and then I'll take it off and I will go and rinse my face again. It's nail day, and traditionally, like I've done with the hair and the face, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about what my hands mean to me, and of course how far or what is the journey or the story behind my hands. First of all, I must say that this is the one thing that I've never had a doubt about in my life. I've doubted how I look in my face, I've doubted how I look physically in my body, but I've never had any doubts about my hands. And to be quite honest, I've had the most compliments in my life when it comes to these hands. So you guys know that my life depends on these hands. I do makeup for a living, and for hobbies and happy times, I use my hands for everything. I draw, I cook, I paint. Let me just say, I love doing handwork. But most of all, my hands have now come to the point where they are my actual bread and butter. Without these hands, I actually wouldn't be the person that I am today. Without these hands, I wouldn't be so confident in myself, I believe, because I feel like God gave me this gift so much that even in the hardest of times, I would look at my hands and the things that my hands can do, and I would think to myself, God must probably think I am the most ungrateful person for complaining about what I don't have, when He gave me hands that can cook, hands that can do hair, can do makeup, can do drawings, can do so much, and anything handwork, sewing, clothes, you name it. So I'm not gonna lie, these hands have carried me throughout my life. And in terms of whether they look beautiful or not, like I said earlier, I've never actually had a question about the way my hands look. And so I found it's very important for me to include this treatment in this video, because it talks so much about self-care and appreciating the things that my hand can do for me. I also added a little bit of treatment for my feet, because I did my hand nails as well as my feet. So I wanted to just do a full treatment and show you guys how much I take care of my hands and feet. But mostly I wanted to show that I appreciate these hands so much, and I appreciate God Himself for giving me these wonderful hands that have carried me so much and have given me such a fulfilling life. So here I'm just doing an exfoliating treatment for both my hands and feet. I'm literally scrubbing off. This is a literal pedicure. So I did a mani and a padi, but I did focus a lot more on the hands. But also the feet are very important, because imagine there are people out there who really cannot use their feet or walk. So sometimes it's a good thing to appreciate your entire body, your entire engine, this entire setting being you. And this is what this video is about. Self-care, self-love, taking care of this body, because this is the temple of God Himself, and I use this as a way of worshiping Him as well as worshiping myself, because I am definitely worth it. So all in all, please don't forget to take care of your hands, to take care of your feet, treat them good and treat them well, just as much as they have carried you through your lifetime. Morning. So we've come to the end of this week, and also mainly just the closing of this video. I want to just reflect on some of the things that I've taken away and that I hope you've also taken away from this week of self-care and self-love. First of all, there are these sayings that I've heard people use, and I think I've made them a reality in my life. One, what you put in your body becomes you. When you look good, you feel good. What I'm trying to say with this video this week is I'm basically trying to reinforce the importance of taking care of your physical being, because it makes a major contribution to how you feel about you. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I got like a positive diagnosis of depression, and I've been struggling with it for a very long time. And for me, I've also found comfort in doing things that make me feel good about myself on the outside, because ultimately I then start to feel good about myself on the inside. It's still an ongoing journey. It's been a long journey from when I started realizing just how I'm not okay mentally and emotionally, but it's now a journey that I'm okay to walk and not feel insecure, not feel like I'm losing it anymore. I'm at a point now where I've embraced the fact that this is not something that's just going to go away, but it's something I'll have to work on. And to be very honest, I think it's very important for us to love ourselves more, because once you love yourself more, other people can also see this amazing ray of sunlight in you, this shine inside you. So sometimes people really take it for granted, the whole idea of waking up in the morning, taking a bath, combing your hair, putting on a nice comfortable outfit, doing your nails, even if you don't do it yourself, but maybe going to the salon, taking care of yourself physically. You don't have to be going to somebody's wedding to do your nails. You don't have to be going to somebody's memulo, baby shower, whatever. You don't need to be going to an event to make you look good. You're doing this to feel good about you. Once you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror and you see how nice your skin glows, Sana, you have no idea how reassuring that will be for you. These nails, the hair, the face, the skin, the body, the feet, appreciating each and every part of this entire engine has made me feel like such a better person emotionally. And so I do hope that this week has kind of just given you guys a little bit of a reinforcement on that. It doesn't matter what your life looks like. Do things that make you feel good. Your mental health is very, very, very important. There are many times in life where we step aside and push ourselves to the back seat so that we can take care of other people. But I think the most important thing is to pour as much into your cup, so much that it pours over to your surrounding. It's like a way of worship. It's like a way of worship. 3 people that you need to worship before I close this video. I want to give you these 3 people. 1 is God. 2, your parents. 3, yourself. You need to find a way to religiously worship you. I don't know if I'm preaching today, but this is what this video is about. Learning just how important taking care of yourself physically is, and how much it contributes positively to the way that you feel about yourself, and ultimately the way that other people also feel in your presence. I am going to close this video right here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and thank you so much for being a member and a family, rather, member of the Pink Water House. Please do not forget to hit like, throw in a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you will always know when the Pink Water House has opened up for Saturday.